Just a little bit today about creative financing. Have you ever heard the term? Creative financing is anything outside of the norm when it comes to purchasing real estate. Now, it can be for purchasing anything, but obviously we're talking about real estate. A normal loan, you go to a bank, you come up with the required down payment. They look at your income, your debts, your credit, and they say you qualify and you get your loan to buy your real estate. Creative financing is anything outside of those normal parameters. And sometimes lending institutions will offer forms of creative financing, situations where they go outside of their normal requirements. They make exceptions. Perhaps your income doesn't have to be quite as high. The ratio doesn't have to be what it normally is, or your credit doesn't have to be quite as good, or the payment terms are different. They make it a longer amortization schedule. And creative financing, you'll probably most often hear of between individuals. There's a buyer who wants to buy, a seller who wants to sell. There's not a lending institution who will provide the financing, so the seller provides some form of owner financing whereby they make a way for the buyer to buy their property. Now, the seller wants to make sure that the buyer is on the up and up, that they've got a good reputation, some credibility, and that the odds are strong that everything's going to work out fine. But just know this, that if there's a willing buyer and a willing seller, the buyer can't get a regular bank loan. There are other ways that buyer can obtain financing, and usually it requires being creative, thus the term creative financing.